been learning about Antarctica, and we talked about it as the continent that is what? The coldest continent, covered with what? Ice. Today we're going to be learning about one animal that lives in Antarctica. There are 17 kinds of penguins, but the emperor is the one that breeds in Antarctica in midwinter. The adults arrive at their breeding areas often as far as 200 kilometers from the open sea in late autumn. A few weeks later, the female lays a single egg and returns to the sea, leaving the male to keep the eggs warm until it hatches a couple of months later. Don't worry, I'll show you pictures. No pictures here yet. At first, the male and the female takes turns to look after the chick, but soon it's big enough to be left while the parents go fishing for food in the sea. By the time it's 4 months old, the young penguin's coat of fluffy down has been replaced by adult feathers. It's now all set up for the sea, where it starts looking after itself. This is the penguin.
Wow. So beautiful.
Down at the very bottom of the world, female penguins spend most of their winter swimming about, getting fat as they can, eating as much as they can, and generally having a nice time as far as you can tell. See them in the water, swimming, getting fat, enjoying themselves after they finish laying their eggs. Yes. Emperor penguins mainly eat fish, squid, and tiny shrimp-like animals called krill, which leaves the father penguin stuck on the ice with the egg. Now, the most important thing about egg sitting is stopping your egg from getting cold. So what happens is the daddy penguin sits on the egg to avoid the egg from getting cold. If the egg gets cold, the baby in the egg will die. Inside the egg, a baby chick is growing. If the egg gets cold, the chick will die. That means it has to be kept off the ice and out of the wind. And what better way to do so than to rest on its feet, tuck it up under your tummy. Just what the father penguin does. Look at it. That's how he will stay for 2 whole months until the eggs is ready to hatch. 2 months. Can you imagine it? Standing around in the freezing cold with an egg on your feet for 2 whole months. Can you do that?
No.
Female penguins lay 1 egg in May or June, which is the beginning of winter in Antarctica. What's more, there's nothing for the father to eat on land. Oh, so that means for 2 whole months with egg on your feet and no supper. That's no food. I don't know about you. He can't go up to the sea to fish. No breakfast, no lunch, no tea. Can you do that?
No.
But I'll be very, very miserable. Me too. I'll be miserable too. Luckily, the penguin doesn't seem to mind so much. They've got thick feathers and lots of fat under their skin to keep them warm. See them? Can you see a lot of daddy penguin egg-sitting? Not really. All of them are egg-sitting to prevent their eggs from dying. And when it gets really cold and windy, they all snuggle up together and shuffle over the ice in a great big huddle. For instance, if this place gets too cold, what we'll do is come together. We'll come close together. But sometimes when the penguins get to a slope, they slide down on their tummies, pushing themselves along with their flippers, always remembering to take care of their eggs and trying hard not to bump into each other. See them? Hold on. Even though the males keep the eggs tucked under their tummies when they slide, it sometimes rolls out and break. Oh, when they are sliding down the ice to go and look for where to cuddle up. Their egg slides down and breaks. And you know when the egg breaks, what happens? It will crack. And when it cracks, what happens to the chick?
It
Dies. And that's how the father penguin spends the winter until one day he hears chip, 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 chip. What do you think is happening? He's about to hatch. Yes. His egg is starting to hatch. It takes a day or so, but finally the eggs cracks up. Hold on, I'll show everyone. Now the father penguin has 2 jobs to do. After the egg hatches, the father penguin has 2 jobs to do. Who can tell me the former job he was doing? Keeping the egg
safe.
Now, good. Now the eggs is hatched. He has 2 jobs to do. One is to keep the chick warm, 2, he has to feed the chick.
How can the chick do?
Wait, the chick is only 50 centimeters tall at first and much too small to keep warm by itself. So, but on what? The chick is too small to be taken up to the sea to catch food, and it can't be left behind on the ice. Well, deep down the penguin's throat, there's a pouch. There, he makes something like milk, and that is what he uses to feed his hungry chick. Now, touch your throat, everyone. So a penguin has a pouch there that he makes something like milk. You know, you can't leave the chick on the ice, right?
Yes.
So that is the milk he used. A pouch. We don't have pouch. You don't have pouch. So can we go on, please? The father penguin can only make enough milky stuff to feed the chick for a couple of weeks. But just as he's about to run out, a dot appears in the horizon. It gets clearer, closer, and closer. And yes, who can tell me what's that dot appearing? Coming closer. Who is that dot? Mommy penguin. I don't know how they get to know that the milk is about to come, but I want to believe it's just God. It's mom. Look at the mom. It's mom. Okay, she starts strumting. Hello. And the father penguin starts strumting too. Hello. And the chicks will whistle. The racket goes on for hours. You know that there are a lot of daddy penguins there, right? So you'll be hearing a lot of hello, 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 everywhere in their own way. Every adult penguin has a special call, like a fingerprint. You know your fingerprint is different from each other, right? So every penguin has a special call. Like if I'm a penguin now, if my own is hello, your own will be what? Give me your own. Give me your own. Give me your own. Give me your own. Hello. Someone should give me your different call. Good. So every penguin has its own different call. It's the mother's penguin's turn to look after the chick, while the father penguin sets off to the sea to feed for a well-earned meal of his own. And that is the end of my story. How many of you enjoyed it? Now let's give it up for the emperor's egg. Woo!